Hi, welcome to Cat Talks. I'm Kat, and today I'm going to be talking about a phone app and Chrome extension called Forest. So let's get started. A little bit of background, I recently discovered writing Twitter, and clearly I've recently discovered AuthorTube. I've known about Facebook and Reddit for ages, so how do I stay focused enough to write for an hour and a half every morning on the way to work, when the siren call of instant gratification from Twitter, from Facebook, from YouTube, from Instagram is always there and always ready? Well, let's talk about Forest, my secret weapon. So as I said, Forest is both a Chrome extension and a phone app, and they work slightly differently. So I'm going to talk about the phone app first. This is what the phone app looks like. This is also what blinds look like. Hang on, there we go. This is what the phone app looks like. It allows you to select a time and a tree type, and then click Start. Plant, it says plant, I can read. So what happens when I hit that plant button is that for the time period that I have chosen, I will be growing a tree that I have chosen and that will die if I navigate away from the application. So that means if I go on YouTube, if I go on Reddit, if I go on Twitter, my tree will die. And the big thing about tree dying is that that dead tree shows up in your history. So let me show you my forest, and let's see what the dead trees look like. Also, I put these dead trees in for you, and you better be damn grateful because they reckon with my score. So how does this help? Well, not being able to use my phone for instant gratification or for research could be a bit of a problem, but it means that I have to focus 100% on the words that I am typing at that time and the storytelling that I am doing. And this is super important for people like me who can get easily distracted by notifications and things like that, and just by wanting to tell my friends how my morning is going, if I have a random sudden thought that I want to share with the world on Twitter. Forest keeps me honest. Now the Chrome application is slightly different. The Chrome application blocks specific apps. Specific URLs. Now there is a paid version of Forest and a free version. If you have the paid version, you can link your Chrome extension to your phone so you can see both histories in your phone. And you can also whitelist apps, which means that if you are using Forest to stay focused on reading, you can whitelist Kindle. And if you're not, you can blacklist Kindle. It's a fairly self-explanatory process. The free version doesn't have that, but I still find it really useful. Although I did pay for the paid version because I think it was less than £5. I think it might even have been less than £2 at the time. And I really wanted to support the creators because they help me get my creativity onto the page, which is so important. Now, as I said, the Chrome extension works slightly differently. So the Chrome extension blocks specific URLs or domains. So I've got it blocking. So by default, I think it blocks YouTube, Facebook, Reddit, and Twitter. Obviously, I had to add a whole bunch of sites to that. So I personally procrastinate a lot on fanfiction.net or an archive of our own. I procrastinate on Tumblr, and I had to add those separately, but you can add those, and I don't think that's a paid function. I think you can just do that for free. What happens if you navigate to say YouTube while you are supposed to be writing? It shows you a screen and says, do you want to give up? Your tree will die. If you click give up, obviously you can then go onto YouTube, but you then have killed a little tree. Now for me, for some reason, especially locking my phone is incredibly motivating. I use this both at work and at home to stay focused and offline, which is why sometimes I go offline for large periods of time on Twitter. It's because I'm completely locked down my phone. I just can't go on Twitter. And that's so important for my productivity, and it helps me focus 100%. Now, technically, I discovered Forest in the beginning of 2018 and I barely used it. But back then I was working 3 jobs, I think, or 2 jobs, and I just didn't have time to be distracted by anything. So I felt that at that time, remembering to set up a tree and plant it was more brain power than I had spare at the time. So I didn't need that to focus back then. But now that I have the amazingly supportive community of Twitter to distract me at any moment in time, having the ability to turn off the internet or selectively turn off the internet is so useful for me, and I have been using it since I think November, and this is my past Forest. So how does it work? How do you buy extra trees? So like I said, you set a timer, you set a type of tree, and you click go, and then you can't navigate away from the app. At the end of the time, you're given the option to have a break or start growing your next tree. Whilst I absolutely recommend taking a break between sessions of focus, I don't use the app to do this. I usually set timers on my Fitbit because that's just the way I am. I don't like looking at my phone very much during my special break times. The second thing that you can do with forest is look back over the week, the day, the week, and the month, which you have seen me show you. And you can also see your dead trees here. Now, I added dead trees for you guys. There are a few mistakes, but I don't tend to need my phone very much during the day. So you better love me because I broke my tree streak for you. There are different types of trees, and you unlock these different species of trees and of bushes through gold, which you earn by staying focused for long periods of time. There is the option in the menu to turn on double rewards, which is where you watch an ad after a focused period to double the number of gold coins you've got. Now, I actually turned that on, even though I really despise ads, just because the creators had it off by default and just because the creators really deserve the money, to be honest. I mean, forest is so helpful for my everyday life and so cheap. Yes, so I turned the ads on to support them more than to earn the gold coins. Forest also has this social feature, so you can see other people's forests that you follow, and you should add me. And then you can also use something called group. I don't know what it's called, but I'm going to call it group grow. And that's where if you are sitting at a table with a bunch of people, let's say it's your writing group or you're having lunch with your colleagues or your family dinner, and you don't want to look at your phone, if everyone has the app, or all the people who do have the app can join a group grow, which is what I'm branding it. I don't care what Forest have called it. And then if any one person at the table looks at their phone, everyone's trees dies. So there's this huge social obligation to not be the one that breaks. Honestly, I find Forest to be incredibly helpful, and I often have it on when I'm doing a writing streak. So I try not to set my writing streaks up for 2 hours because I've discovered that I don't have the capacity to focus for that long. I'm just not that kind of person. So I set them up. So I work for 2 hours, but working is a very different process from writing, at least for me. And I can work for 2 hours straight without a break, but then I have like the ability to go get a cup of tea, the ability to chat with my colleagues if I'm stuck. With writing, I don't really have those. I mean, I can go get a cup of tea, obviously, but the writing follows me, where work doesn't. And there aren't really any colleagues here that I can talk to, clearly, because I'm in my house. So for me, 2 hours is a bit of a stretch for focusing on writing. And also, the writing process drains me in a way that working doesn't. So yeah, I try and stick to 1 hour or half-hour blocks for writing, and then have specifically timed breaks in between if I'm going to write more that day. But I find it so helpful to keep focused if I have Forest. Yeah, so that has been Forest. I have absolutely loved using this app, and I really hope that you do too. And my voice is going, so I'm just going to have a quick sip of tea. So yeah, I absolutely adore using Forest, and I hope you will too. I don't have an affiliate link or anything, but you can find it on Google Play or down there, Google Play or Apple. I think it costs money on Apple straight away, and I think on Android it is free, and then you pay for it if you want to, like a donation. I definitely recommend getting it though, regardless of what platform you use it on, even if you just use it on your PC. It'll help you stay focused and stay productive. All right, that has been Cat Talks, Cat talking about Forest, an application that helps her stay productive. And I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit like or subscribe, preferably subscribe because it makes me have all these warm, fuzzy feelings inside. If you love book reviews and book blogs, check out my Instagram where I post every 3 days a new book review. And if you like seeing the inane thoughts that come into my head that I shout out into the void, or you need your own personal cheerleader, follow me on Twitter where I fulfill both of those. All right, guys, have an absolutely amazing week, and I will see you on Friday.